Okay, so it's been about 2 months since I posted my last video on YouTube. A lot has changed, a lot has taken place, a lot has happened. Mostly good, but I figured I would share it with you because that's what this process is all about, and that's what I had in mind when I created this channel. So the last time we tuned in, me and my brother Chatavius were auditioning in Los Angeles for different agents, managers, and reps all across town to help guide our careers, give us auditions, insight into the industry, things of that nature. And it was a great experience. Very costly. I learned a lot, what I could do differently and what I would never do again. And it was a beautiful process. As I look back on it, a lot of the people that did it with us have their opinions on how things went, but sometimes I miss it. I'm not gonna lie. I think it was beautiful because there were no negative aspects to it. Everything was a learning lesson, especially if you thought of it that way. I feel like with the showcase, it's a lesson on you to grow as an actor and to get your feet wet with auditions and to get you more comfortable being in front of different people, because that's a part of the process. There's a skill set, and then there's the auditioning factor that a lot of people don't keep in mind when they get into this field. And it's a long game, so the more reps you can get to work that muscle, I feel like the better it is for you. It felt like it went by so fast. And I remember the last time I spoke to you, I was 2 weeks in, and I dropped a little teaser of our scene, just rehearsal. Well, ever since then, that next week, I had a agent reach out to me, and she wanted to meet with me because she liked my look and my performance. I met with her, and on the spot, I read over the contract. Probably took about 30 minutes, and I decided that I wanted to collaborate with her moving forward, pushing my career. So I've been signed with her since the first week of August of this year. So that was right after my last video. My goal was obviously to get an agent, one in San Diego and one in LA, and if I got a manager, cool. But the nights that managers were in town, I didn't really go because I've thought out my career and how I wanted to work around things, and I didn't feel like a manager was a necessity because my career was just taken. I've only been acting professionally for a year. I've been blessed because my career is moving pretty fast, I must be honest, but I do work my butt off to make sure that that happens. Aside from that, I just thought that an agent in both areas would be most beneficial to me in that time, and then later on I would get a manager. So that's what I did. She was the only person that reached out to me. I think I went, so there were 16 days in total that the showcase ran. I did 8 days. I think Chet might have did 13. Maybe he did 10 or 11, but he did more than me because some days I was just like, nah, man, I'm good. But if he was like, hey, man, let's not miss out on this opportunity, then I rolled with him. So I signed with her. Very slow start. I had one audition. My very first audition, I was supposed to play a cop. I sent off the self-tape 3 or 4 days in advance, and I was the runner-up for the role. I was on hold for 4 days. My agent messaged me a few days later and said, hey, they said they want to work with you in the future, but they decided to go with the other fellow. And I was like, okay, not bad for my first audition. In that time frame, I memorized a monologue and delivered it to a second agency based in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I sent it off. Didn't have any expectations, just delivered it the way that I felt suit. And once again, my brother helped me out. But the more we rehearsed it and then we finally shot it and delivered it, I felt confident in the way that I delivered the character and the monologue altogether. So I sent it off. They hit me 4 or 5 days later and they were like, hey, we want to work with you. So, you know what? I signed with my San Diego agent in July. I signed with my San Diego agent in July, and I signed with my Salt Lake City agent in the last week of August. I'm represented in 2 different markets now, and it's been great. And I recently had an interview with a meeting with the LA agent, but it wasn't exactly what I was looking for, so that didn't work out. But I'm just excited about this process. I hit the ground running. I've been out of class for 2 months now because I was doing 2 studios with doing a showcase and then going to classes to hone my craft, and it just got really pricey. And I live in California, you know how it is. Like, I'm very honest. I'm security when I'm not acting, and sometimes I serve, or I do tipped positions here and there. Acting can get very pricey, especially in the beginning stages. You have to get headshots, you have to get a demo reel, you have to find work to put your resume together. It's just a lot. So I took a hiatus from class, but I didn't want to get out of the work and out of the repetition of diving into different characters, learning different scripts, screenplays, things of that nature. So I think 2 weeks after I got signed to the agent in San Diego, I did my very first 48-hour film project, which was great. I was a part of a great team. Somebody I used to work out with when I first moved out here, he ended up directing a film, and he's a seasoned vet at this point, and I was able to be a part of his project, and it turned out great. I got to see myself on the big screen. I'll show you footage just so you can see. And then a week later, I did I started prepping for the LA 48-hour film project. And that was an experience in itself. I was really happy because I was able to do both, which is very hard to do, especially if you work full time. But I was blessed to have the opportunity to do that. And I worked with 2 of the kindest people, like with Chris and Ali. And then we shot it so quickly. She edited it very fast, got us a copy that we could watch, and she just said, don't share it until it's actually released. Saw that on a big screen in LA. It's like all my dreams were coming true in a matter of 2 months. So in that process, 2 short films completed in a matter of a month, actually in a matter of 2 weeks. And then from the first short film, somebody liked my performance so much they cast me in a web series called Blacked, and it's not out yet, but when it is, I will let you know so you can actually watch it. And I just wrapped that last week, so we shot the final episode last week, and that'll be releasing soon. My plans for the future are to get back in class. Obviously, I just auditioned for a stage play 2 or 3 days ago, and I didn't get the role, and I'm content with that. I think right now I have some other things I need to focus on, but I'm learning and I'm staying active and I'm continuing to work, which has been most important to me. Use it or lose it, as they say. My next step would be, first, to get back into class. Second, to get an LA agent, because I don't have an LA rep currently, and I want to be in that market for sure. And then to work on my first feature film. I haven't been in a feature film. Everything has been shorts or web series, things of that nature. But I'd love to have a role in a feature film. So that's what's next for me. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, give me a follow on Instagram, Heza_model, HEZA_model. TikTok, Truly_Heza. And God bless.